What's happening with y'all, man? So check it. For those who are old enough, some of y'all still in y'all daddy nutsack. For those who are still aware of the Cheetah Girls type shit, y'all know back in the day, Raven left their ass. She was like, nah, we can't do this. Apparently the truth came out, so let's watch it.
Recent interview with E, a possibility of making a Cheetah Girls reboot. They both said that they would film a reboot in a heartbeat, but they added something crazy. Raven said if Adrienne was in, she would do it too, but she also said that they'd only agreed to do the reboot if they were sure it wouldn't ruin the original. This happens a lot nowadays with reboots, and Raven made it pretty clear that she wanted to avoid that. Raven also said that while she wasn't really all that interested in acting anymore,
I mean, that is kind of a true statement right there. A lot of today's reboots is fucked up. They shows and movies and shit, but at the end of the day, I feel like everybody would want to see this.
She wouldn't mind being in front of the camera for this. Now, this might seem kind of hopeful. From what they had to say, it almost seemed like a reboot might not be that unlikely, but there's more. Even though Raven and Adrienne seem pretty okay with doing a Cheetah Girls reboot, this doesn't seem to be the case for all the Cheetah Girls, mainly because of the rumors concerning their broken relationship. Rumors that became very obvious after Raven didn't appear in the third movie. Now that she's admitted that she'd love to do a reboot, it seems like the problem might be coming from a different Cheetah Girl and not her like everyone's expected. For one, it seems to me like Keely Williams might not be down for it, and there's a reason for that. Keely, Raven, and Adrienne haven't exactly had the smoothest of friendships over the past couple of years, and that's just pretty much sugarcoating the whole thing. For the longest time, everyone wanted to know what exactly went wrong and why they didn't all get along with each other. I mean, on screen, they all had amazing chemistry, but off screen, it was a whole different ballgame entirely. No one knew what was going on until 2020 came along, and Raven and Keely gave us some insights into their feud. During an Instagram live, Raven and Keely explained what really happened to their friendship, and according to Raven, it all dates back to their original Cheetah Girls days. In her words, there was a clique that was formed back then, and this made her feel excluded from the original team. Apparently, even though the clique wasn't an extremely strong one, it still somehow managed to do some damage. But there were also some other things that Raven claimed led up to all of this, although she didn't exactly explain what those things were. This was when Keely decided to offer Raven a formal apology for everything that had happened. According to her, she would never try to hurt Raven on purpose. Raven then told her that they were all good, so things seemed to be okay between them after that. But even though Raven and Keely were able to clear the air online, the same can't really be said for Keely and Adrienne. There's still a ton of drama between them, and even though Raven apparently begged them to fix their relationship, it just wasn't enough. Keely's relationship with Adrienne is quite different from the relationship she shares with Raven, because unlike Raven, Keely and Adrienne go way back even before the start of the Cheetah Girls. They were both a part of the now defunct 3LW girl group. It's pretty unlikely when exactly the feud between Keely and Adrienne began, but
Boy, what y'all know about Prometheus.
one thing I can tell you for sure is that no matter how long this has been going on, time definitely hasn't made Keely forget. When Raven asked her to speak to Adrienne, she went on to ask why she should. According to her, Adrienne didn't come to her dad's funeral after he passed away, and she didn't even call her either. Keely made it pretty clear that she wasn't trying to be messy or anything like that. She was just trying to be real. In her words, anyone can say whatever they want about her, but one thing no one can ever say is that she wasn't there for Adrienne and that she didn't do anything for her. Keely's talk with Raven wasn't the first time she addressed her issues with Adrienne. She also talked about it in March 2020 when she was asked by someone if she'd ever considered going on The Real. This was obviously before the show was canceled, and Keely explained that she didn't see any reason why she would go on the talk show. Apparently, since she wasn't promoting anything, she didn't see the point in making an appearance. But obviously, this wasn't the only reason why she didn't want to appear on The Real. I'm pretty sure she noticed that we all knew she wasn't being completely honest, because then she went on to admit that she didn't think that Adrienne would want her to come on the show. According to her making an appearance on The Real would mean that Adrienne would have to say something along the lines of, yes, Keely, I did pretend to be your best friend, now I'm not. And then she would have said something like, either we're my best friend and now you're just not claiming me, or you were pretending to be my best friend and now you're telling the truth. And because of all this, she didn't think that this was ever going to happen. What's interesting about this whole situation is that everything that Keely has said about her non-existent relationship with Adrienne hasn't actually said a single word about it, not even once. It's almost as if she doesn't care about the fact that her relationship with Keely is ruined. I mean, it's either either that or maybe everything that Keely has been saying is actually correct. Maybe Adrian is actually the person in the wrong here. I mean, this is all just speculation, but if that is the case, then she probably doesn't want to say anything publicly so she doesn't look any worse than she already does. Then again, like I said, this is all just a theory and no one except Keely and Adrian know what's really going on. Now the question is, if they do ever decide to make a Cheetah Girls reboot, would Keely and Adrian's damaged relationship get in the way of it? I mean, last we heard they still...
Man, don't even do Cheetah Girls reboot. They can't even talk to each other off screen. Don't even do that, bro. Unless they was doing and managing that shit during the original Cheetah Girl movies, like.
weren't speaking to each other. Still, even though a reboot may not be in the picture for Keely, she supposedly isn't completely against having a potential reunion. According to her, participating in the Cheetah Girls felt really good because she got to inspire young women all over the world. It was just a fulfilling experience for her, and she can't see herself saying no to a reunion. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see how everything plays out. But what do you guys think? Do you think Keely and Adrian are ever going to find a way to fix the relationship? I mean, this feud has been going on for a pretty long time. So honestly, I don't know if that's even possible at this point. But what's your opinion on all this? Would you like to see a Cheetah Girls reboot? Let me know in the comments below.
We're all older now. We got kids and shit, so I don't see why anybody can't get over it. It's like we're pushing old age now. But anyways, man, if y'all like that, be sure to leave a comment, like, and subscribe, man. Let me know what y'all want me to react to next. We out this mug.